Hello guys, welcome back to the Transfer Daily YouTube channel where we are bringing you the latest updates from the football transfer market. And just a quick one then, so on the videos now, I am going to be doing more stories, so just to let you know, more transfer stories in one video, because usually, there's like 3 or 4, but now there will be more. So anyway, starting off in Nottingham with Nottingham Forest, and Aina has been brilliant this season for Nottingham Forest in that fullback role, one of the best in the league this season. And for that reason, you would think that there's interest from the Premier League other clubs, because we know his contract expires in the summer for Aina. And Nottingham Forest's plan has always been to trigger the 12-month extension in Aina's contract. So Forest can extend it for until 2026. And Nottingham Forest, despite this 2026 trigger that they can use, they also want to renew Aina's contract anyway. Because even if he does leave, it does trigger the 1-year extension, that still leaves Nottingham Forest with the risk of losing Aina in the summer due to losing him in a free agent in 2026. So let's wait and see. But Premier League clubs are closely monitoring the situation. There's been talk about that Aina hasn't agreed on these type of things. I'm not sure on that. But Nottingham Forest's plan is to renew Aina's contract. So Gianluigi Donnarumma, PSG's number 1 goalkeeper, and obviously brilliant performance recently in the Champions League against Liverpool. But before that, there obviously has been a lot of doubts about Donnarumma, but in recent weeks his performances have improved a lot, and we know his contract expires in 2026, and talks over a renewal are currently not advancing. So they've been in talks for quite a while, PSG and Gianluigi Donnarumma, over a contract renewal, but at the moment, guys, it's not advancing. This deal isn't for new contract, for Gianluigi Donnarumma. And the situation is open at the moment, as long as there is no agreement with PSG over a new contract. And we know PSG usually are quite good at these things. Nuno Mendes, Vitinha, many players this season who they've tied down to new contracts, and Donnarumma is amongst that list. But as I've said, talks have been going on for quite a while over the last few months, and there's still been no agreement. And PSG were quite hesitant to offer him a new contract a few months ago, and were obviously very torn because of the performances. But as we know now, PSG over the last few performances want to renew Donnarumma. So there's no discrepancy there that PSG want to renew Donnarumma's contract. But as I've said before on X, is that Inter have interest in Gianluigi Donnarumma. And Donnarumma, in his mind, obviously recent comments about Inter Milan and returning to Milan at the San Siro, is that he's currently focused on PSG, because I believe, and so do PSG, that PSG have a very good chance of winning the Champions League. And also the league as well is something that's nailed on, you'd say. So he's focused on the current season with PSG. But at the moment, Donnarumma isn't ruling out a move to Inter Milan. But as I've said before, for Inter Milan to sign Donnarumma, you're probably looking at either Martinez or Sommer leaving the club in the summer. So let's wait and see what happens. But now, so we're going to speak about Jadon Sancho later on in the video, but on Christopher Nkunku. So we know he hasn't really, due to injuries, lived up to the potential he had when he first joined Chelsea. And what I can say is Christopher Nkunku has a chance to leave Chelsea in the summer, because we know Chelsea are looking for a new striker. They've signed wingers, Giovanni Quenda, many players. Willian Estival, Kendre Paz, Cole Palmer, Pedro Neto, Noni Madueke. They've got many wingers and forwards at the club Chelsea, so there's a feeling that a few forwards will leave in the summer, as I've said before on the YouTube channel in previous videos, but Nkunku has a chance to leave Chelsea, and Christopher Nkunku and Chelsea were both open to a permanent exit in the winter transfer window. As we know, Manchester United discussed a swap deal between Nkunku and Garnacho, I think it was, but it didn't advance for many reasons. And as we know, clubs tried to move on loan for Nkunku, but Nkunku never wanted to leave on loan. But as we know, both parties, Chelsea and Nkunku, were open to a permanent exit. As we know, Bayern Munich had real interest in Nkunku, as Bayern Munich looking for a new forward, and maybe Bayern Munich could return. And this is the same for Manchester United, but in the winter transfer window for Bayern Munich and Manchester United, the transfer fee was too high for Nkunku, so Nkunku, real chance to leave Chelsea in the summer. Spoke about Rasmus Højlund then in the recent video about his future at Manchester United, and what I can say on other clubs now I've got more information is that clubs have contacted Højlund and Manchester United ahead of the summer to understand the availability of Rasmus Højlund. Manchester United is still expected to sign a new striker, as I said, which could be key, but ultimately the final say will be by Højlund, because Højlund will assess the new signing and assess his opportunities he's going to get at Man United this season, and then he will decide his future. But from Man United perspective, as I've said, they want Højlund for the future project and this type of things. But an Italian club is believed to have a real interest, so I've been told an Italian club, but I don't know which one it is, so let's wait and see. But Højlund in the summer, very interesting situation. So Nico Williams, and obviously a name who's mentioned with the top clubs quite a while for obvious reasons. He's a very good player. One thing I will say is I wouldn't rule out a stay at Atletico Bilbao again, because one thing we can say on Athletic and Nico Williams is that it is an emotional attachment for Williams, so I wouldn't rule out a move again if Bilbao can, get Champions League football or win the Europa League, which I think they have a good chance of winning the Europa League this season. So many things could happen, many clubs could come in, but a team who are constantly linked with Nico Williams is Arsenal. And Arsenal definitely have interest in Nico Williams, because Nico Williams is a very good player, and Arsenal have had interest from around 2 years ago, from what I know, and he's a player who they highly regard, and he's definitely a player they could look at in the summer. But as we know, the striker position's a priority for Arsenal at the moment, and for any club that want to sign Nico Williams, they will have to trigger that €58 million release clause. And then you're looking at financially for Arsenal, a few outgoings would be needed probably, because Martin Zubimendi's release clause, €60 million, €58 million for him, and then also a striker which they could spend quite a lot of money on. So let's wait and see for Arsenal. And also with Arsenal and Nico Williams is that obviously they've already got Leandro Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli at the club, and I've spoken about in a previous video, if the price tag is met for one of them players, they can leave the club, which could open up Arsenal and a move for Nico Williams in the summer. But one club I wouldn't rule out, and these two clubs seem to mention quite a lot together, is Liverpool. But obviously if Luis Diaz leaves, Liverpool could go into the left winger market. But also, just going back, Nico Williams, obviously in the summer he only wanted to stay in Spain, but who knows if this has changed in the summer. we don't know this. But let's wait and see. But currently, no talks have happened between Arsenal and Bilbao over Nico Williams. Still early stages in the race for Nico, because obviously really focused on the Europa League, also the league. Bilbao still have a lot to play for, so let's wait and see. But Arsenal definitely have interest. So thank you for watching the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.